I think we're live now. Yeah, it's the Colonel. Back to streaming some Factorio 1000X. Yeah, fun times. Anyway, much has been done since last stream. Well, maybe not much, but at least some has been done. We've got some mines set up. They're not connected to power yet or running, but we have some mines set up. I got these over here. They need some work in their power. But we were in the middle of setting up this mine here to feed our circuit factory. We have extended our Dragon's Tooth and double turrets over here because we are very close to polluting on this side. We had to extend Dragon's Tooth over here, and of course we have our hot spot right here. Yeah, so the episode is called Pollution Disaster because we got a problem. We're 70% through low density structures. Of course, we have the real chore after that, rocket silo. We need to keep researching. Can't stop it. Stopping it would be sort of antithetical to the purpose of this run. It's funny, I just realized this, but I saw on YouTube that Michael Hendricks is doing 1000X, which I think is cool. 1000X runs are a lot of fun, so I like seeing some of the creators I really enjoy do them. Especially since I've personally completed 1000X run on Factorio 1.1. He's playing in a way somewhat similar to Kuvi Boy, where, well, he's doing his Space Age 1000X run on default settings, default fighter settings, default resource settings, default everything. The only difference is 1000X research. I believe that's also how Kuvi Boy is doing it. It's how Kuvi Boy did his Factorio 1.1 1000X. It is not, however, how I did my first 1000X. I am not near the player that they are. And so, in my first playthrough on Factorio 1.1, I had some mods. I did leave default biter evolution and biter expansion settings. I left default pollution settings. I think so I've made it 1000X obviously, but the only other thing about the settings that I changed, I increased the richness, I think, of some resources. I don't know about size and frequency, mostly the richness. I had a lot of fun that run. I used mods as well. Some quality of life mods. I did have early bots in that playthrough. Also had some early personal defenses, like early personal lasers. So I was able to play with default biter settings because the extra offensive power that I had at the beginning allowed me to get a jump start on securing territory. For this playthrough, I didn't want to change my initial offensive power. And so what I did is I am using mods. I have some quality of life mods, some to extend some ammo range, um, some other things, mostly because this is the plan. While I was watching Michael Hendricks' playthrough today, he was talking about about his plan and stuff like that, and his plan is very focused on the get there as quickly as possible approach, which I think is good. It requires lots of combat. I don't like combat, so what I did at the beginning is I turned fighter expansion down, gave myself the full 600% starting area, and then changed pollution slightly so that it would it'd give me a little bit of a head start at the beginning, because I know how brutal the early game of a 1000X run is from my previous playthrough. That's my thing. I'm not here to do a challenge run like Michael. He's way better at this game than I am. Same with Koofy Boy. I mean, 1000X on vanilla, like, I think Michael's using a couple mods, but like simple ones, or has modded this game personally. Koofy Boy, I think, is running just vanilla, which 1000X vanilla with default settings, biter settings, it hurts my head. But anyway, I am not those guys, so I have plenty of mods installed to give me little boosts here and there. Nothing major, no major content things. Basically, the reason is because I can watch the chaos as I talk a little bit, but I like the 1000X for a slightly different reason, I think, than Michael or Koofy Boy. To them, it's like a resource constraint challenge. For me, I think of it as a scaling challenge, and so I've never been able to mega base in normal research cost playthroughs. Research goes too quickly. By the end of the game, I'm literally not doing anything except researching the last thing or completing the last thing, and I don't see any point in scaling things up because I've already completed the game, you know? So like mega basing was never my thing. I'd rather play, like, rather than extending a playthrough beyond the end of the game, or the win condition, I'd prefer all the gameplay to be before the win condition, and the challenge to be actually getting to the win condition. Playing the way I would play a normal playthrough, which is you choose techs you want to research, things that are going to help you. You do have to leave some things by the wayside, like I do have plates. I don't know. I mean, that research would go so quickly that we could. Those are effectively free given my research setup. But like some of these things I may never get to, like truly. I don't know why this mod is here. I had downloaded this mod to look at it, and somehow it's included in this playthrough now. I'll have to get rid of that. But anyway, so I won't be super choosy about text that I do, because I fully expect this playthrough to go north of 1,000 hours. obviously not going to stream all 1,000 hours. As you might see, I only stream an hour to maybe 2 per weekday. Doing 1,000 hours that way would take me years. So 1,000x is doable, even with my strategy of doing also like researching things that are nice to have instead of must-haves. I treat the 1,000x experience like an excuse to megabase. So I've got low-tech megabase at the moment. I mean, the amount of material we're just guzzling is pretty wild. You can see, let's go to 1 minute so you can see short timeline. I mean, I should say the resource consumption is wild for this stage of research. We're only doing blue science. We have military science built because I need to get to flamethrowers. We haven't done any other techs in military other than flamethrowers. I think, we did flame damage 1 and 2 because those are reasonably inexpensive in comparison to the research, some of the research that we have to do. And they give us, in total, the 2 levels give you plus 40 damage in flame, which is essential for having defenses. But, yes, we're running a constant 15 per second, 900 per minute of red, green, and blue with low tech. It's big. The blue circuit build is a monster. I mean, you can see the smelting going on. Engine array for full yellow belt of engines. Yeah. So it's a different way of playing. Whereas Michael seems to be really zeroed in on reducing the amount of pollution, thereby and by extension, I'm assuming he's talking about getting it done as quickly as possible. That web gameplay is cool. I like watching it. I love Michael's videos. I'm not good enough to play it that way, so I've got to use the brute force approach. The only way I know how to approach 1,000x is just by the end of this, I fully expect to be somewhere close to 10,000 signs per minute, like actual. I don't know what that turns into in the labs, effective SPM that you see when you look at the research tab here. But what I'll be producing might maybe get close to 10,000 signs per minute. We'll see. That's a very outside number on a space age build, space age playthrough. But at the very least, we're going to be doubling and tripling our output. We're going at least to at 3,600, potentially more. But in order to do so, we need tech. And tech requires research. Research produces pollution. So I need defenses to keep pollution, or to keep the pollution caused attacks at bay. So I've been filling out defenses. So one of the things that's tricky here is We are blue tech. I have all the stuff necessary to create bots and create some modules. I'm going to put efficiency modules in our miners. I had a small thought of potentially putting production modules in the miners to really stretch our resources as long as we can, but the power situation is problematic. So we're going to get Covrex from space science. Which is nice. So we will be able to get a decent nuclear setup going. We won't have nuclear fuel reprocessing until Vulcanist, because I plan on making purple science on Vulcanist because of the steel requirement. I'm gonna do in fact, I don't know. I mean, I've considered doing all the sciences on Novice, or Novice on Vulcanist. I've considered it. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it yet. We're gonna do a little extension to the Dragon's Tooth. Well, do I want to do that on stream? Well, we are going to. I am going to. I need to build out this Dragon's Tooth up here. But I also need to remove... I reconfigured the Dragon's Tooth a little bit. So that by the time I get to uranium ammo, I will be able, the gun turrets will be able to hit incoming attacks as they hit the Dragon's Tooth. Right now, the guns don't fire that much. We do most of our killing with flamers, which is okay with me. Oh, no, not copy. Yeah, flame turrets are what's doing the heavy lifting in my defenses at the moment. At the moment, if I were using a ton of ammo, we'd have a problem. My ammo setup, I think, can only support about 2.5 red ammo per second. I mean, we're nowhere near that kind of consumption yet. I mean, we can look here. Consumption over the last 10 hours. Actual ammo. 12.2. That consumption includes the production of red ammo. Well, I guess it's the difference then. You can see we produced so the difference is what we used over that time period, the 10-hour time period. So we used about 300 yellow mags so far, but that's good. We need to use. I mean, we need to reserve. I mean, that's really the trick here. Is that we need to reserve our resources for science and base building, having it be consumed by ammo production as well would be a problem at this point in the game, given my own particular game choices here. So the tricky thing here is that we're gonna run out of resources on novice, 100%. So there are going to be, three basic ways we can address that problem. All three of which are viable options, I think, given the opportunities that the Space Age DLC gives you. So, number one is to relocate, as soon as possible, the majority of the science production outside of the planet-specific stuff, relocate it to Vulcanus. Because their copper and iron are free, and by extension, steel. Once you unlock real coal liquefaction, not the simple one, but the real coal liquefaction, you do have access to a source of oil that's not infinite, certainly, because it does require an input of coal, but it's not like the simple liquefaction. Yeah, we'll drain a coal patch so quick. It did in my middle playthrough. I had a giant coal patch right near the starting area on Vulcanus, and I drained that son of a bitch real quick. But once you get to the real coal liquefaction recipe, you have access to a recipe that requires a fraction of the coal input and produces an infinite amount of. Because what you need is, if you're going to make Vulcanus the source of science outside of its own science, you need plastic. Now, in the long term, I'll be shipping in plastic from Gleba. That's the plan anyway. Because we're gonna need tons of it. You know what I mean? So this is what I think. The DLC, Space Age DLC, lends itself to a 1000x playthrough because this type. Now, I think all 1000x playthroughs are valid. As I explained, I have the way that my motivation for 1000x is that it gives me the reason to do mega basing. Because otherwise, I just don't want to do it. I need a mega base in order to finish the game. Finish the game in in a non-restricted way. I want the mech armor. Do you need the mech armor to finish the game? No. But I want the mech armor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jam? Anyway. We're going to effectively have a pseudo mega base on every planet. And the question is, what do you do where? At some point, that's what the question becomes. What do you do where? I personally think that locating science on Vulcanus is an excellent idea for 1000X, unless you want to spend a bunch of time on Novice redoing mines and going off and finding new mines, which will require giant amounts of combat. Like, I'll use artillery. We will tap more resources here on Novice, but do I want to make 3,600 red and green signs per minute here on Novice with my current resources? Or not, do I want to, but could I? Absolutely not. If we turn off pollution, you can see, I mean, we're making a dent for sure. This guy's looking real paltry. Yeah, look at that guy. So yeah, I mean, we don't have enough resources, even with the increased settings that I have here, because at about a 600% richness, frequency is up, not fully up, like 200, 300, and then size is up to like 300 maybe. Our power situation is okay. I mean, we're at a solid 900 per minute, and we still have room to spare. I don't really think we have enough. Do we have enough? We need 95 megawatts to run this factory, this circuit factory. Whoa, whoa, Chief. That's a big one. That's a real big one there. Yeah, so let's get the circuit factory built. 95 megawatts, does that give us enough? Yes. We have enough to run a circuit factory. Need a circuit factory for efficiency modules, which will extend our power, current power, which is important, until said time that we can move on to the nuclear. We need access to, okay, so where are we going to put this thing? It's going to be pretty big. Red circuit's 200. 110 for greens. Blues, 70-ish. Big smelting arrays. Big smelting arrays. So we're certainly not going to get this factory built today. Not even close. But let's go think about where we want to put it. I think that it might be good to put it our launch facilities. I plan on having them, because the two things that we don't want to move are the labs and the launch facilities. launch facilities I want sort of like next to the labs up here. That means we need landfill. I have a good bit of landfill made. Of course. I love my driving. Finally had to go and get the repair from vehicle mod because I kept hitting things. And you can replace things, but like you can't repair things from your car. It's so annoying. All right, so dump our inventory. Got lots of landfill. This is one of the reasons why I choose maps like the one I have here. It gives us access to space. Down here we're entirely a peninsula, so we've got lots of expansion space onto the water. Big water, bodies of water that we can eat up. Yeah, this whole upper area is going to be a hotspot before too long. I had high hopes that I'd be able to avoid having to put up all the Dragon's Tooth walls, that I could like save it for bots, but unfortunately that is not the case. I could. I mean, here's the thing, like, do I stop my expansion and infrastructure? Do I stop that all? To do a quick and dirty bot setup just so that I can get that wall automated, when really what I want is I want to be able to like set up an entire, like I want an entire base-wide bot network. In order to do that, in order to make it in any way efficient with the original bot speeds, that means I need lots and lots of bots. I don't know. Again, I'd never make a claim the way I'm playing the 1000x run is the correct way to play it. It's certainly not the most efficient way. 100% not. No. No. But you know, I'll say playing the efficient way for the people who are good at doing things efficiently. I'm not one of those people. I'm much more a brute force kind of guy. So that's the way we're doing it. Obviously, this, you know, the total amount of landfill I have here is not going to be enough. But you have to start somewhere, so I'm going to use up the rest of that. I might expand that buffer a little bit just to really let this thing go, although it is slowing down quite a bit because the mine has shrunk. Those guys don't have any blue, and users. As you might have noticed, I do have far reach installed. There was another Factorio creator who I loved his explanation of why he used far reach, and because it tracks entirely with mine. Like, I just want to be able to, I just want to be able to reach it. Like, it's on screen, I can see it. I understand that's not very realistic, you know? Like, I get it. Maybe it breaks the immersion, but, like, yeah. So yeah, it does trivialize some things, like turret creeping becomes slightly easier because you don't have to be in harm's way. Your turrets are the only thing that's in harm's way. But I don't like doing lots of combat anyway, so like it's not that big a deal to me, I guess. I'm gonna be honest, like, I just don't care. Like, I want to play the game out the way I want to, and the way that I want to involve playing with mods that make my life easier. Nothing super crazy. Nothing game-breaking in my opinion. Like, I explicitly avoided installing any mods that I thought would be considered, like, game-breaking. I did, one that I did install the other day, because I think it in the context of this playthrough, when we're trying, I mean, we're not really being frugal with our resources, because that's the way that, as I was saying earlier, like, that's the way Michael and Koopy Boy are playing, and they're being as frugal with their resources as possible. I mean, you have to, if you're going to play on default resource settings, then you have to be. Or else you'll just be setting up mines non-stop. Yeah, this is the way I play. This is the way I like playing. I like the ability to. I like creating factories that can just run reliably for hours and hours and hours and hours. You know, ideally, in an ideal world, it's like you want to create that factory that just runs non-stop without any input forever, automated all the way. So my factories, the factories I build so that they just run. You know what I mean? They just keep going. And 1000x is the greatest challenge for that, because can you, as a player, can you continuously feed a factory that's doing 900 per minute with the additional constraint that all the resources are 1,000 times more valuable, effectively. It's not the true modification of 1000x is doing, but you understand what I mean. Just like in Michael's video first stream, he was talking about how it's like 1,000 times faster evolution, effectively, because you have to do 1,000 times more polluting. We're going to get to, like, you can never reach 100% evolution, technically. It's asymptotic function that drives the growth, I believe, of evolution. But you will eventually get almost to 100, and trust me, the attacks get brutal. Like, we're pushing the limits here. Like, these attacks we're taking, you can see, I mean, they hurt. I don't know that we're getting a I think I'm going to, because we want way more landfill, and since we're not doing military science, the main stone feed that we have going into our factories is laying there idle. We might as well make use of it. Let's get some. Didn't I have? Let's put these guys away. Let's put the wall away for now. I thought I had assemblers now, but I guess I used them all. So there's none over there where I put some other stuff. Huh, it's not. Alright, so grab some assemblers. We do have stack inserters unlocked. We should be producing them. Stack inserters take red circuits. We're not producing those yet. Yeah, so we'll have to do with fast inserters for now. That's fine. Alright, let's go. Got boxes, inserters. Let's go make a bunch of landfill. We've got 4 red belts of stone here, so might as well use them. Let's see. How much does this guy do? 75. We have a total of 120. Let's just do, right? Just do that. obviously we're not going to make enough to saturate that, but how do we want to do this? We don't have loaders yet, so we can't use a loader. Let's do it like that instead. What we should do is run like this. That way I can go like this. Got it that way. Go here in a second, but I figured I'd try and get something accomplished today on stream. Something novel. We are going to need lots of landfill. I mean, might as well make use of this stone that we brought into the base. Yep. You might hear my son. He's woken up, so let's put our undergrounds here, and we'll turn on the power, and then call it a day. Yeah, because I'm not doing the most efficient, fastest approach to this, it does mean that I don't have to like rush through anything. I will do quite a bit of work off stream. I can take up to 75. I don't even think that's enough to give me a full 30 throughput into the machine. No, but it's going to give me the fastest output of. Just in case, we'll say up a priority that way, so that it doesn't steal from military sites if we do decide to turn it back on. But there we go, we got a little factory for landfill. That will help us locate our launch facility is going to be basically here. So I want our circuit production to basically be in this area up here, so that I can have reds and greens flow up into other factories, and I can have blues flow down into the launch facility. Yeah. So, yep. I will continue doing some of this boring building in the meantime, till next time, which will be probably tomorrow. But yeah, lots of Dragon Suits build. I need what I'll probably do for the next little bit off stream when I can get some time is I'll probably try and do as much of the Dragon's Tooth as I can. I will do some more setting up of mines, more landfill painting. I may start the circuit build. Chances of me finishing it are pretty low, to be honest. I have some time in the evenings, but not an unlimited amount of time. So anyway, yeah. As we watch my defenses disintegrate against the onslaught of biters, I'm Colonel. This has been Factorio.